electricity, of their crop of the farmers and better pricing for them, of their medical assistance, of better infrastructure, better pay scales for government employees, for our armed forces. Where are all these monies coming from? These are coming because we have been able to formalize the Indian economy, increase the tax base phenomenally because of these steps. What has happened to the prophets of doom who said India's GDP will decline by at least 2%? For the 5th year running, for the first time in history, India will be the fastest growing economy in the world. It's continuing to happen. So the prophets of doom have been proved wrong and conclusively proved wrong. So even when there was a global stress, we still managed to have respectable growth rates. And we've had the courage because of the leadership of the Prime Minister that we took decisive steps. And these steps, which are not only economically correct, which have helped the system in the long run. And the long run in this case doesn't mean generations. After 2 years, we can see the impact on our tax systems, on the digitization and on the formalization of the economy. Of course, there is a long distance that we still have to cover, and I'm quite certain in the coming years the advantage of these movements in the right direction will strengthen the Indian economy more.
So Finance Minister Arun Jaitley there defending the demonetisation decision of the government taken 2 years. This defence is coming at a time when opposition is trying to gherav the government for what Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister, has called an ill thought out move which completely played havoc with the economy. So when Dr. Manmohan Singh led the attack on behalf of the opposition, it was left to Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to defend the government's move. Mara Shakil is tracking that story. Mara, finally, do we know from Mr. Jaitley's press conference and from his blog as to what really was the reason for demonetisation?
Well, the government says that it really has managed to curb the menace of black money, and this move was part of it. They have also said that how the number of personal taxpayers have gone up. So I think overall, while the Congress and the opposition and other parties may be raising questions, the government is fairly sure that the objective with which the demonetisation was announced by the Prime Minister has been achieved.
But do you get a sense that compared to how this government celebrates anniversaries, be it surgical strikes, be it Swachh Bharat, comparatively on demonetisation, their reactions are muted?
Well, Arunima, there have been criticism of demonetisation, and there was that report as well, which essentially said that most of the money had actually come back to the government account. So certainly, the questions being raised whether it actually achieved anything worthwhile or was it just some kind of an announcement to showcase that the government can take decisive calls and it was more political in nature. Well, the government seems to suggest, and that's why we saw Mr. Jaitley put out a blog, and the BJP has now put out specific questions to the Congress party as well. 10 specific questions asking as to what they are saying and how misplaced it is. There are statistics that the government is quoting essentially to say that how this entire idea of digitization has been achieved, and also going on to say that the number of taxpayers have gone up, which was one of the motives and the objectives of this move.
Okay, but do you get a sense, Maria, that they're still batting on the front foot on this issue? Elections around the corner. There is a lot of criticism, not just being levelled by the political class, but the general mood, as far as the country is concerned, was also not favourable towards demonetisation. What's the sense that you get?
Well, the sense certainly is, because they are facing this question not as much anymore, but it was to do with Rafale that is going to take centre stage as far as the states where there is a bipolar contest between the BJP and the Congress are concerned. The BJP realizes that demonetisation move can be seen as some kind of spin doctrine that the BJP did then, which may not be of great, which may not get traction to them this time around. They understand that as far as the public is concerned, they did face a lot of discomfort then because of standing in the long queues and everything. So that is something that the BJP is understanding, that can that be actually communicated in terms of numbers and statistics? Well, the party seems to suggest that, yes, numerically they have benefited. In fact, if you look at what Mr. Jaitley is saying in his blog, he has put out an elaborate blog, Arunima, and talking about the benefits of demonetisation, saying how overall this has been a move which was very tough to take, but yes, as far as objectives are concerned, it has been achieved.
Right. Stay on, Maria. Sanjay Jha of the Congress party also with us. Mr. Jha, one line from Mr. Jaitley's response where he says demonetisation has bettered the quality of life for our citizens. Your reaction?
I mean, let me answer this very quickly for you. That I just looked at the unemployment data, and that is at 397 million as we talk. That's at 6.9% at a 2-year high. And the RBI report categorically mentioned that the black money never came back into the system. In fact, the black money that can be said to be black money is less than 0.5%. What was Narendra Modi's big talk about, by the way? Main kala dhan wapas leke aunga. And that was a monumental lie. It disrupted India's economy. We lost GDP of 1.5 to 2%. That is, by the way, almost equal to 250,000 crores. Who paid for that? The common man of India did. 145 people died. I mean, the economy is still recovering, by the way, even as we talk.
Right.
I mean, you know, to talk about formalization as a new objective, what happened to terrorism? What happened to stone pelting? Did it stop? What happened to counterfeit notes? Did it stop? What happened to fake notes? Did it stop? I mean, you know, end of day, this was nothing but a roguish attempt to try and take on the mantle of being the anti-corruption crusader before election. Because end of day on the Kala Dhan, this government has turned out to be an absolute co-opted. They have co-opted with people with black money. Let me tell you the reason why black money never surfaced when the RBI results came out. Because people were tipped off to convert their black money into white. Right. So where would you get the black money anyway? And by the way, in any country or economy of the world, if the more digitization, more bank accounts happen as a normal, natural course of evolution of a society or an economy. You can't force it, which is why cash is back into the system.
Right. Let's just bring in Narendra Taneja of the Bharatiya Janata Party at this point. Mr. Taneja, respond to that. If formalization of the economy was the real reason for demonetization, why force it on people? Could that not have happened without this coercion of demonetization?
Simple answer is no, it was not happening. The pace was too slow. We know what happened during the UPA 2. You see how the banking system was abused, misused, and how, you know, big corporate houses were basically given, awarded favors. So we saw that was not happening. 67% people, when we, came to power, didn't even have bank account. They were not allowed to have bank account. There was a banking apartheid being practiced, UPA 1 and UPA 2. That's what they were doing.
Right.
So we were left with no other alternative.
Mr. Taneja, just hold on there. Mamata Banerjee is also not buying the argument being given by the government and by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has spoken on the second anniversary of Notbandi, and she says that demonetization was a disaster. November 8th is the darkest day for India. There was an agenda behind the decision of demonetization. Mamata Banerjee also says, who benefited from the decision? Why was this decision taken? To satisfy whom? I have a suspicion, she says, that this decision was taken to satisfy the agenda of a few people. Shaugata Mukhopadhyay with us on the phone. Shaugata, TMC is one party which from day one has taken a stance against demonetization, and they're now saying we stand vindicated.
Well, Mamata Banerjee was perhaps the first politician to have reacted once the demonetization announcement was made on 8th of November 2 years ago by the Prime Minister on national television. And Mamata Banerjee took very little time to oppose the decision that was announced, and she had been vociferously campaigning against the issue of demonetization. Said that it would actually spell disaster, spell doom for the economy of the country. And now she claims that she stands vindicated 2 years down the line. The entire process of demonetization, the agenda behind demonetization has not served its purpose. The claims that were made by the Prime Minister, the BJP-led government at that point in time, did not, bear fruit, and in fact has boomeranged on the economy. And she says that the worst sufferers have been the agricultural sector, the small businessmen, the laborers, farmers, unemployed, and domestic workers, small traders, and so on and so forth. And that is where Mamata Banerjee hopes that she would be able to rake this up sufficiently as a major political issue ahead of the 2019 elections. And rest assured, once the campaigning starts, once the parties, the opposition parties, including the Trinamool Congress, start throwing their hats into the ring for the election campaign, demonetization, of course, will be one of the foremost in their mind, and Banerjee would keep campaigning against demonetization and claim that she stands vindicated. One of the first reactions that she had given, perhaps before any other politicians of this country.
Right. Thanks for all that, Shaukat. Narendra Taneja, I was telling you about this criticism, and Mamata Banerjee is now putting it in black and white. Look at the three questions she's asking. Who benefited from this decision? Was this decision taken to benefit a chosen few? Sanjay Jha also making the same allegations that you already tipped off those who were close to your party, and that's why the black money figure is not known till date.
No. The question is that you're talking about Mamata Banerjee. What has she done for the West Bengal people? The economy of West Bengal is among the worst in the world. This is what she has done. She's ruined whatever little economy was built up by the left parties.
Right. We'll hold her accountable on a separate program, Mr. Taneja. But can you answer the question that she's putting to you?
No. I'm answering the question. I said, who is questioning? The person doesn't know anything about economics. What does she know? What are her credentials to talk about economy of the country? When look what she has done to West Bengal. She has to earn the credentials. You have to earn the credential before
But you're not answering the question, Mr. Taneja. There is merit to the question. Do we know the figures of how much black money has come back? Isn't there merit to the question that why is it that the money that was demonetized, I think the entire of it came back to the system?
No. You are getting it completely wrong. The whole idea was basically to push the formalization of the economy. And today, economy stands formalized. A big part of the Indian economy today stands formalized.
But that's not what the Prime Minister told us, Mr. Taneja. He gave us three reasons. He told us terror funding, he told us black money, and he told us that fake currency. Formalization was never mentioned in that press conference by the Prime Minister.
Formalization is the umbrella word for all these points. Is the umbrella word. When we say formalization for today, for instance, I'm asking this question to you. If you go out to, let's say, before the demonetization, whenever you enter the market to buy a house, people will ask you to pay 50% cash. Is it happening today? Tell me. Go and practice it. Is that a formalization? That is a black money. Isn't that an attack on black money? People of India are seeing the results today every day. So this is all political rhetoric. There's nothing has happened maybe for them. But the point is that you ask the people of India. People of India are the biggest beneficiaries. That's why they are celebrating.
Sanjay Jha, that's what BJP has been saying from the day demonetization was brought in. That if demonetization impacted the common man so much, how did the BJP win Uttar Pradesh? How did the BJP win Gujarat? How is it continuously on election winning spree?
Well, that was the propaganda blitzkrieg of a very disingenuous, duplicitous Narendra Modi during the time following demonetization. Ask the people now and they will give them a befitting answer. Let me tell you that a new government gets formed in 2019. There needs to be a high-powered investigation commission set up to investigate the fraud, to know who all converted their black money to white, who were close to the people in power in the current government, because there is a lot out there which needs to be investigated. And I can tell you something for a fact. Narendra Modi said, 50 days, give me 50 days. You remember that speech you played on your channel? 50 din mein, give me time and I will prove to you, otherwise you can do this to me. Now the truth of the matter is that was another dramatic, theatrical performance. He lied to the people of India. The truth is Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister, misled 130 people, 30 crore people of this country. Small businesses suffered. Farmers were destroyed. India's rural economy went tumbling down. Our GDP took a thrashing. Unemployment has now risen to record levels. And what is he doing today? He's trying to bulldoze the RBI into giving him money. What for? What for? So you're watching today the collapse of that very fragile story, which was only meant for one purpose, to boost Narendra Modi's image. So if the Prime Minister of this country can take 130 crore people for a ride to boost his personal image, God bless us all. Hopefully there are elections in December that will prove the story correct. And in 2019, I think the BJP must be defeated because I think India deserves better. We deserve fairness, equity, transparency and honesty, which we have been deprived of in the last 5 years of Narendra Modi as Prime Minister.
Mr. Taneja, is it your case or is it the case of the Bharatiya Janata Party that India today has become cashless?
No, the point is that, the Congress spokesperson, I don't know which country he's talking about. It's definitely not, it's not the India story. He's talking of some other country, we don't know on which planet that country is parked. As far as India is concerned, 67% people, they were the victims of the banking apartheid by the previous government. They were not allowed to open the bank account. Today, they are part of the formal economy. They have bank account, they have debit card. They are fully connected. They have been empowered. They feel empowered. The point is that in a democracy, I am not criticizing anything. In democracy, you are entitled to your views, you are entitled to your propaganda. This is all propaganda what they are doing. The fact is, what in democracy, the people decide. Ask the ordinary people of the country. The ordinary people of the country, they are happy, they have been empowered. They can see now the economy to a very great extent has been formalized. People who have been using black money, going property after property, today they are not able to do it. You see, and the people, those who want to have, money from the bank in the right way for the right business, now today they can do it. So there is more transparency. There is much less corruption. And as far as the political speeches are concerned, there people give speeches, they can't give it in the public, they come and give speeches on television. I have no problem with that. But people of India will decide, and you will see in 2019, if we have done something, in a democracy, it's very simple. If people are happy with our policy, we will return. If they are willing to buy the propaganda of Congress party, and I'm sure you can insult the people of 130 crore people. People know what is politics. They know they're going to go only by the work which has been done by us. And our kind of, take is very simple. People are very happy with the good work that we have done. We don't claim we have made India United States. We have not. We are still an emerging economy. We are still a developing country. But people are happy with the kind of effort we have put in and the formalization of the economy that we have managed to achieve. Those who want to criticize, they can do that. But we welcome criticism point by point, number by number. Political speeches, we are not interested.
Right.
I'm sure the people of India are also not interested.
Okay, Mr. Taneja, thanks so much. Thanks also to Sanjay Jha for joining us. Both sides would have us believe their version. BJP insists the demonetisation was a move in the right direction. But look at the reactions we have been getting from the opposition. They're still sharpening their knives against the government ahead of 2019 elections on the issue of demonetisation.
2 साल पहले इसी दिन भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने एक संवेदनहीन और गलत फैसला किया था। मेरा प्रधानमंत्री जी से सीधा प्रश्न कि वो आज भी क्या वो अपनी गलती मानने को तैयार हैं और देश से माफी मांगने के लिए? हमें मालूम है ये प्रश्न करना व्यर्थ है क्योंकि उनमें अहंकार है, वो संवेदनहीन है। क्या वो फैसला जिससे देश की लगभग 2% जीडीपी टूट गई, वो भरपाई तो कभी नहीं होगी।
Well, exactly today, 2 years ago, Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, issued a Tughlaki Farman and demonetized 16 lakh crores of Indian currency. The consequence of that action has been disastrous. Hundreds of countrymen who had to line up before banks to withdraw their own money died standing in those queues. The Indian economy was completely and absolutely shattered. Demonetization has been an unmitigated, unprecedented disaster.
Government has not given you is the amount of tax revenue collected. Amount of tax revenue has declined. None of the targets have been met, either of the GST targets that they have brought in. They are only tom-tomming the numbers have increased. Numbers have increased because you got them into the GST pool. Therefore, each one of them is online filing whatever the transaction they are doing.
Renamed Faizabad to Sri Ayodhya, the Gujarat government jumped in, demanding Ahmedabad be called Karnataka. Now, Shiv Senas took on its ally BJP, asking when is Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis going to rename Aurangabad to Sambhaji Nagar and Osmanabad to Dharasiv Nagar. The demand for the renaming of Aurangabad and Osmanabad goes back to 2 decades. However, there has not been any formal petitions to change the names of the city by the current state government. Now, Gujarat Chief Minister.
कर्णावती, अहमदाबाद का नाम कर्णावती की बात जो बहुत साल से चल रही है, इसके बारे में जरूर हम विचारणा कर रहे हैं, सोच रहे हैं और लीगली और सभी पहलू से देखते हुए उस पर ठोस कदम उठाए जाएंगे और आने वाले दिन में इसके बारे में सोचेंगे।
કર્ણાવતી નામ કરવા માટે પણ પ્રજાના મનમાં લાગણી અગાઉ પણ હતી, અત્યારે પણ છે। કાયદાકીય મર્યાદાઓ અને જે માગણી માટે સમર્થન મળે, કાયદો બદલવા માટે, નામકરણ કરવા માટે એ પ્રાપ્ત થાય તો એ કરવામાં પણ અમે હંમેશા તૈયાર છીએ।
Please tell us, what is this demand now?
We have been demanding this for the past 2 decades, and there are so many reasons and the hurdles created by various people, the various leaders of other parties, but all the more this is not a fresh demand. We in Shiv Sena, we refer as Sambhajinagar and Dharashiv, and this is a long standing demand, and I think that people have accepted it. Even people living there, they themselves also call it as Sambhajinagar and Dharashiv.
Why do you think the BJP in Maharashtra is not taking it up?
Well, BJP now, because Shiv Sena has taken up the Ayodhya issue and the Ram Mandir issue, somewhere they have got a strong feeling, and which is true, that the Ayodhya issue has been hijacked by the Shiv Sena. So some face saving is required.
And Vinay Deshpande, Maharashtra Bureau Chief, with us on the phone line. Vinay, any reaction from the Chief Minister's office or from the Bharatiya Janata Party Maharashtra unit?
Well, right now the BJP is non-committal about giving any response to this particular demand. Let us understand that the demand from the Shiv Sena has been long pending one. It has been almost 20 years or more that the Shiv Sena has been demanding the same. In fact, their own Samna edition from Aurangabad is also called Sambhajinagar edition and not the Aurangabad edition. Having said that, though the Shiv Sena has been demanding this for over 2 decades, the fact is also that they have been in a coalition government with the BJP for the last 4 years, but none of their cabinet ministers seem to have pushed through this agenda for the last 4 years. So one needs to ask Shiv Sena as well about why this question right now when Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat seem to be going on the same line.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us, Vinay. There's more news coming in as far as renaming politics is concerned. Okay, after Ahmedabad and Maharashtra, now we're moving to Hyderabad. CNN News 18 has spoken to Telangana BJP MLA Raja Singh. He says if BJP comes to power in Telangana, one of the top priorities is to change the name of Hyderabad to Bhagya Nagaram. Listen in.
आप ये विश्वास करते हैं कि हैदराबाद का नाम भी बदलना चाहिए भाग्य नगरम को?
देखिए, जिस प्रकार से हैदराबाद की अगर हम बात करें तो ये पहले भाग्यनगर था। भाग्यनगर का नाम बदलकर हैदराबाद रखा गया। तो हम भी पब्लिक को ये आश्वासन दिए कि जिस दिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार तेलंगाना में आएगी तो पहला काम हैदराबाद नाम हटाकर हम भी भाग्यनगर रखेंगे। सिकंदराबाद नाम हटा के हम जो वहाँ पर जो देश के लिए, जो धर्म के लिए, जो तेलंगाना के लिए जिन्होंने प्राणों का बलिदान दिया, वैसे व्यक्तियों का हम नाम रखेंगे। सिकंदराबाद का भी नाम हम चेंज करेंगे। यानी भारत में जिन कुली कुतशों द्वारा, मुगलों द्वारा जो भारत को सर्वनाश किया गया, तो वैसे लोगों का नाम क्यों? ये लुटेरे थे, भारत देश को लूटने ये लोग आए थे। तो ऐसे लोगों के नाम पर आज रोड्स हैं, ऐसे लोगों के नाम पर आज कुछ राज्यों के भी नाम हैं। तो इस लोगों का नाम नहीं होना चाहिए।
Currency note was officially exchanged at bank counters. It was the most ingeniously designed official money laundering scheme. Who knows it better than you in West Bengal? who had witnessed deposits of large sums of cash barely hours before demonetization was announced. The last of the 3 points that I just made has a direct connection to the current controversy involving the government and the Reserve Bank. The government stares at a fiscal deficit crisis. The GST collections are short of estimates. The net direct tax collection is far short of the budget estimates. Hence, as things stand today, the government will not be able to meet the fiscal deficit target of 3.3% in 2018-19. Besides, the government wants money to step up the expenditure in an election year. Finding all other avenues closed, in desperation, the government demanded 1 lakh crore rupees from the reserves of the Reserve Bank of India. When the RBI governor refused to oblige, the government took the extraordinary and unprecedented step of invoking Section 7 of the RBI Act. If the governor stands his ground, as I hope he will, the government is planning to issue a direction to the RBI under Section 7, directing the RBI to transfer 1 lakh crore of rupees to the government's account. In that event, the governor has only 2 options. 1, to transfer the money, or 2, to resign. In my view, whichever option is taken by the governor, it will irretrievably damage the credibility and reputation of the RBI. It will also mean the capture of the RBI by the government. One more crucial institution would fall from grace. The day of reckoning is November 19, when the RBI board is scheduled to meet. The government has packed the RBI board with its hand-picked nominees and is making every effort to ram through its proposal at the board meeting. The consequences of demonetization have been catastrophic. Millions of people were pushed into debt. Millions lost their jobs. Thousands of MSMEs were shut down. Over 100 people, including persons from West Bengal, died while standing in queues. GDP growth fell by 1.5% as predicted by the Congress party. Let's wait and see whether there will be another catastrophe on November 19. Turning to other subjects, I wish to point out that the government no longer talks about Achhe Din. There is no talk anymore of development or jobs or investment or higher incomes or growth. The only talk we hear is about the Hindutva agenda. Soon after his election, the Prime Minister appealed to the country to put all divisive and controversial issues under a moratorium for 10 years and focus on development. Today, the promise of development or Achhe Din lies in a shambles. The Prime Minister himself has resurrected the divisive and controversial issues, and all others, from the RSS to ministers to minor functionaries of the BJP, are talking and writing only about the divisive issues. I have no doubt that the people of the country have taken note of these developments and will respond suitably whenever there is an opportunity. Recently, there was an opportunity in Karnataka, and the people voted decisively. We thank the people of Karnataka for their resounding vote of confidence in the Congress-JDS government. The vote in the by-elections was a big blow to the BJP, yet the BJP is not paused to reflect. On the other hand, the BJP and RSS are pressing the accelerator on the Hindutva agenda. The next few weeks will be crucial. Thank you. Copies of the statement are available. You can collect them as you go out. I'll take a few questions now.
Any question? Sir, about the Hindutva that you are talking about, there has been a surge of putting up statues, of renaming the cities. How do you take this?
When they contested elections 4.5 years ago, both just before the election and after the election, they talked about development, jobs, growth. They have failed on all three fronts. They have achieved nothing, either on development or jobs or growth. And at the end of 5 years, about the end of 5 years, they've gone back to their old themes of Hindutva, giant statues, grand temple. It's a complete failure of the Modi government.
Sir, invoking Section 7, do you think that that is an encroachment into the autonomy of the RBI, and where do you think this will actually lead to? I mean, where do you see it ending? I mean, the institution falling from grace is one thing, but then RBI also is the repository of the monetary fiscal policies. So where do you see it going from here on?
As I said in my statement, if the government follows through on Section 7 and issues a direction to the RBI, it will lead to a catastrophe. This government does not know what catastrophic consequences there will be if the RBI either defies the government or the RBI governor resigns. It's a complete failure of the Modi government.
Sir, invoking Section 7, do you think that that is an encroachment into the autonomy of the RBI, and where do you think this will actually lead to? I mean, where do you see it ending? I mean, the institution falling from grace is one thing, but then RBI also is the repository of the monetary and fiscal policies. So where do you see it going from here on?
As I said in my statement, if the government follows through on Section 7 and issues a direction to the RBI, it will lead to a catastrophe. This government does not know what catastrophic consequences there will be if the RBI either defies the government or the RBI governor resigns. In either event, the consequences will be catastrophic.
Could you define catastrophic?
Well, I'm hoping that better sense will prevail between now and November 14. But all the information that I'm getting is that the government is determined through its hand-picked nominees to force its decision upon the RBI board. As Dr. Raghuram Rajan pointed out yesterday, the RBI board is not like the board of directors of a company. RBI is not a company. It's not a board-managed company. The powers of RBI have to be vested in the governor. The governor has to exercise those powers. RBI board is to give advice and guidance. But if the government will convert the RBI into a company and treat it as a board-managed company and ram through its decisions through the board, the consequences will be catastrophic. I don't want to spell out the consequences, but it will be truly catastrophic.
Sir, technically from the Karnataka experience, do you think that an alliance with the regional parties are getting higher benefits for the Congress and for the national podium?
See, without referring to any particular state or without referring to any particular regional party, my view has been that state-wise alliances will benefit the Congress party. The best way to defeat the BJP is to form state-wise alliances. One kind of alliance has formed in Karnataka. It has yielded results. Similar state-wise alliances, I think, should be formed in different states. The AICC will take a decision. I am not competent to take the decision.
What is your reaction regarding Yogi's
Congress continues with its criticism of government's demonetisation move. P. Chidambaram, former finance minister there, addressing the press in Kolkata.